Have you ever walked into a meeting where everyone is talking, no one is listening, there's just noise, noise, noise? Yeah, everyone wants to put their own point of view forward. There's no respect. Is that meeting getting anywhere? No, right? Now just imagine what that feels like in a choir of, let's say, 60 people. No one is listening. It's going to sound awful, isn't it? Yeah. It's not going to be harmony. It's like total disharmony. It's dissonance. People are not coming in at the same time. Some are coming in slightly late, some are coming in slightly early. Yeah. It just sounds awful. And that's exactly what happens in a team when the culture is out of tune. So, welcome to my channel, Learning with Sanjeev. I'm Sanjeev. I'm so glad and happy that you're here with me. And today, we're going to be talking of deep stuff, not surface level. So, let's take a breath and go there together. So, if you have ever led a team, and I know you have, coached people, or been stuck in a meeting where nothing is moving forward, we're not making progress, you know, it's not a lack of talent, right? It's a lack of coherence of signals. Purpose, process, and roles, they are not aligned. There is no clarity. So today we are going to try to figure out a solution for this. When something like this happens, what can we do? When teams are faltering, teams are not performing, what can we do? What are lessons we can take from a choir, from choral music, and apply to this? Yes. So I'm going to give you a framework and I'm going to give you an experiment you can run also in the next 7 days to figure out where you are now. And then after 7 days, where are you now? Wow. And see if there's been a progress. See if there's been progress, if there's been improvement. So a few years ago, I was leading a choir, we were getting ready for a big performance. And just about 2 days before the performance, everything started falling down, right? It didn't sound right. Yeah, there was no energy. It wasn't something we could go and put on stage. The audience was going to be very displeased. They would have just booed us. They would have just booed us. So when something like that happens, the first thing we need to do is diagnose, figure out what's going wrong here. When we did diagnose, what we found was people were not focused. People were not respecting each other. People were not listening. So I just stopped the practice and got people to first just close their eyes, center, focus. Leave all the noise outside. Leave all their mental noise, the mental clutter, all the other problems that they're having outside, and just focus on what are we here for? What was our purpose? And that's a big word there. What was our purpose? And when we were able to realign everyone, things changed. Things changed. The sound magically became better. So what that moment taught me was coherence doesn't happen automatically. Coherence has to be engineered. That engineering has to happen by the leader. So why does culture fail? So cultural dissonance happens in organizations, right? And there are the usual three suspects. One. So first is mixed messages, right? The leader is saying innovate, but punishes failure. So how can you innovate without making mistakes? But when you make a mistake, you're punished for it. So do you really want to innovate? No. Mixed message. The second suspect is competing metrics. For example, you're rewarding volume but expecting quality. Something out there, isn't it? Third is role ambiguity. Who decides? Who suggests? Who executes? Is this clear? Is this clear? Does everyone know what role they have to play? When the lines are not clear, that can lead to conflict, that can lead to pausing, that can lead to slowdowns, or even worse. So, what does the science say? So, one of the key things is what is called psychological safety. In the project Aristotle done by Google, what they found was that the number one predictor of team success is psychological safety. Psychological safety. What is this? The team feels that they can speak, that it's safe to take interpersonal risks. It's safe to argue. It's safe to disagree. So many years ago, I was working at a company called Unilever's. Joined as a management trainee, so pretty young then. Yeah, but even as a management trainee, or after a couple of years there, I could go up to a board director and disagree, knowing that it's not going to be taken out on me. It won't affect my appraisal. It won't affect my bonus, and that's great, right? Psychological safety was there. I could go and speak. I wasn't scared to speak. I was given the opportunity to disagree, to speak, to make your voice heard. So if people are scared of speaking up or disagreeing, coherence vanishes, right? So the message is, if you can't comment, your voice is not part of the tune. So I tell my choirs all the time, I don't just want pretty faces. If you're in the choir, you have to contribute. You have to sing. Your voice has to be heard. Everyone is important. You may be the loudest or you may be the softest, but everyone is important. Because you even take the softest voice out of the mix, out of the choir, the sound changes. The sound changes because that person is not there. So everyone has a role. Everyone is important. For the choir members, that's a huge sense of belonging. They feel safe. They feel that they belong, and that just makes the music better, isn't it? What's the music in the team? What can make that music better? So Deloitte actually did a research on organizational design where they showed that when there is clarity in decision making, that increases the opportunities and chances of process improvement. So clarity in decision making increases process improvement. Yeah, process becomes tighter. So that's a very important thing, right? We have to be clear who makes the decision, who executes, who does what different people's role is. So organizations that are fighting this ambiguity, right, and they want clarity on who does what, see significantly better outcomes. So that's from this research done by Deloitte. And in research done on choirs, what they have found is when the choir is good and the sound is good, what is happening in the background? Yeah, the singer's heart rate and the breathing is also in sync. Isn't that great? Yeah. So breathing has to be in sync because we have to breathe at the same time in order to have that same phrasing and all of that. So breathing is in sync. And that when the breathing is in sync and the heart rates are in sync, isn't that a beautiful thing? What happens? Coordination becomes better. Trust increases. Listening increases. Teamwork increases. So neurological studies have also shown us that interbrain synchrony. So brains are synchronized when people are coordinated tightly, right? When people are working well together. So brainwave synchronicity actually happens. People are thinking in the same way. People are moving towards the same goal, working together. What this means is that when people are in alignment, their neural rhythms, the brain waves, how the brains work together, that also converges. So coherence creates resonance. Coherence creates resonance. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Wouldn't it be awesome if we can get our teams to do this, our organizations to do this? Think the same way. So culture is like sound waves marching together. So a sound wave has peaks and valleys, right? When all the peaks are aligned together, what happens to the overall sound? It gets louder, right? It's amplified. And what if the peak and the valley is aligned? So peak and the valley, one cancels out the other, right? Yes. So no impact or less impact or worse impact. So if our signals are out of phase, they cancel. But if they're aligned, it's amplified. So that's where the group synergy happens. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it beautiful? Right? People are aligned, group synergy. Right? The whole becomes greater than the sum of the parts. Yeah. So 2 plus 2 is not 4 anymore. 2 plus 2 is 5 or 6 or 7. So what are the 3 signals of cultural coherence? So this is the framework. This is the learning, right? 3 signals. Very easy. Purpose, process, people. Purpose, process, people. The 3 signals of cultural coherence. Purpose, process, people. So purpose. Why do we sing? What's the purpose? So a choir has to have purpose. If the choir is singing a sad song, we need to communicate sadness to the audience. The audience needs to feel sad. If you're singing a happy song, the audience now needs to feel happy. The purpose of a choir is entertainment. Communicating those emotions. So first the choir needs to feel the emotions and then be able to communicate it. So why do we sing? Why do we sing? Why does the team sing? The team also needs to have a clear purpose. So can we say what the purpose is in one sentence? Is it a focused, clear statement of purpose? If you can't put the purpose into one statement, it probably means the purpose is not clear. For example, we are going to increase user satisfaction by 20% by reducing the number of bugs that we. Purpose is clear. That's why I'm meeting, to figure out how to do this. So purpose aligns motivation and makes sure decisions are clear because everyone is working towards this purpose. Who does what also now becomes clearer. If purpose is vague, every behavior just becomes noise, right? Just becomes noise. We're just doing whatever you want to do, not working together as a team. Makes me think of some of the cricket teams out there, international cricket teams, individually brilliant, but as a team, lousy. There may be other teams individually not as brilliant, but as a team they work really well. So they win more matches. Actually, many of the choirs I conducted, award-winning choirs, some like Methodist College, yeah, who became the best choir in the Asia Pacific region. We didn't have a lot of really fantastic individual voices, but together they created an awesome sound. The team was fantastic. So it's all about the team. So the first signal is purpose. Is the purpose clear? Second signal is process. Is there a clear process that we are following? How do we sing? So in a choir, we agree for this particular piece, the emotion is sadness. How do we shape our mouths? Is this a more classical oriented? Is this a more classically oriented piece? Is this gospel? Is this pop? Is this Sri Lankan folk music? And according to that, the shape of the mouth changes, the process changes, the tone changes, the sound changes. In the same way, the teams need mental clarity as well. The team needs to have rituals, needs to have decision rules, has to be a process, So example of a ritual. When we start every meeting, we just take 60 seconds to do a quick purpose alignment. Are we all in sync? Are we all clear what we're trying to do here? And I think that's going to be a game changer. That little thing could have a big impact on our meetings, yes? An example for a rule. We can disagree as much as we want, but by the end of the meeting, we have to be in agreement. Another rule. By the end of the meeting, we need to be clear who's going to do what, and we need to have a set of actions with dates and with people's names, right? And we need to be in agreement there. Another rule, at the end of the meeting, we summarize everything that was discussed. We summarize the actions to be taken. Little rules, right? You put those rules in, there's a process, you follow the process, and you're going to be getting steady results. So the process actually gives us a frame, gives us some like something like a scaffolding, so people know what to do. It reduces the ambiguity, right? People know what to do. They can do it faster. You don't have to come to the meeting and figure out what am I going to do. There's a structure. Signal 3 is the people. The people. Who does what? Who sings what line? Who does what? Who makes the decision finally? Who executes? So in a choir, everybody is important. Everybody's voice needs to be heard. In a meeting, should everyone's voice be heard? Yeah. If their voice is not going to be heard, why come for the meeting? Yeah. Think about it. So in a meeting, we need clarity of decision rights. For a team, we need clarity of decision rights. Who recommends? Who decides? Who executes? Is that clear? Finally, have we got it minuted down? Does everyone get a chance to speak? Is everyone's voice respected? Are a few people dominating? Well, the leader needs to control that then, isn't it? If the leader realizes Sanjeev is talking and not allowing others to speak, well, he can call on the other people who have not spoken and ask them, okay, what do you think? Draw the people out. Make sure everybody is heard. Same thing I do in a choir. So the roles need to be clear. There has to be role clarity so that we don't duplicate efforts. We don't have 3 people doing the same thing. What a waste of time and effort. And no stepping on toes also then. Yeah. So no overlap and no stepping on toes. So these 3 signals need to reinforce each other. Purpose, process, people. Purpose, process, people. Purpose without process is just lip service. Nice words, but nothing happens. You have a purpose, but nobody does anything about it. Process without having a clear purpose is just red tape, it's just bureaucracy, right? It's just bureaucracy. We're just doing something, but really not knowing what we're trying to do. Where are we going with this? And you have people, a great bunch of people, but if there is no purpose and no process, people are just going to be wasting their time, just wandering all over the place, doing whatever they want to be doing. So, shall we diagnose where we are now in terms of coherence in your organization, your culture? Very simple, just 5 quick questions, 5 items, and you give yourself a mark for each of the questions from 1 to 5. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Very easy. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Yeah. The first one is safety. Is it safe for me to raise a disagreement? Is it safe for me to voice my opinion? Can I speak at a meeting? Am I heard? Am I respected? 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Clarity. I know who makes decisions. I know who decides on what. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Roles are clear. Yeah. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. 3, meaning. The purpose is clear. I know how the work that I do is impacting the overall goal of the organization. The purpose is clear. I know how important my work is. I know how my work impacts the greater organizational vision or the path or where we're trying to go. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Process. We follow a consistent ritual to start our meetings, to end our meetings. Within the meeting, 1 is weak, 5 is strong. And the last one, voice equity. Voice equity. Everyone is heard. Everyone gets a chance to speak. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. Let's see where we are. So put a mark now for where you are now. You can pause the video and come back to it. Put a mark where you are now. And then let's do an experiment. 7-day challenge. Build something called a clarity card. And after the 7 days, give yourself these marks again and see, has there been a change? And if there has been, and I'm sure there will be if you do this, well, please come back and put a comment, right? Yeah, tell me how it went. You can email me as well. I'll be really glad to hear from you. So here's the experiment. Build something called a clarity card. Very easy. Just take an A3 piece of paper, and on that, write down what is the purpose. 1-line purpose. What are we trying to do here? Make sure that's visible at the meeting. So this is a visual artifact. Your clarity card is a visual artifact that the entire team can see. Second, process. The ritual, the rules of the meeting. Make sure that's articulated, it's documented, it's on the A3. So everyone knows. So one meeting ritual, we have a 60-second quick check, purpose check at the beginning, right? We have the actions summarized at the end of the meeting. We make sure that we can disagree, so that's the rule, but we have to be in agreement at the end of the meeting. And 3, people. Who does what? Who decides today? Who executes? Who does what? Put that down on the A3 as well, so people are clear. So you can share it with the people at the meeting, before the meeting, at least whatever can be decided before the meeting. By the end of the meeting, whatever has been decided, put that up there, share it again. People are clear. More clarity, more direction, better results, yeah? So do this for 7 days and then do your quick check again from 1 to 5. 1 is weak, 5 is strong. See if there has been a shift in the numbers. If there has been, and I'm sure there will be, share it with me, okay? So back to the choir story. Remember, you're not doing that great. Got people to focus, got people to align, got people to listen to each other. The sound was absolutely fantastic. 2 days after that, we had our show. We just went out there, wowed the audience, got 2 standing ovations, 2 full houses, 2 standing ovations. And if you have been on stage, you know that there is no better feeling than getting a standing ovation from your audience, because that tells you you have really done it. You have achieved your goal. And the singers themselves, the musicians, the singers, everyone on stage told me, wow, they felt so special. When they were performing, when they were making music itself, they felt something click, something magical. And that's the same thing that can happen with our teams. Culture is also like that. Once the signals are aligned, things fall into place, just snaps into place. Noise becomes harmony. Doubt becomes trust. Conflict becomes creativity. So, did you like this video? Did it help you? If it resonated, and I'm hoping it did, well, create your clarity card. Yes, put your items, put the scores down, 1 to 5. Where are we now? Do the experiment for 7 days and then see where are we after that. Yeah. The next video I'm going to do for you is something called entanglement rituals. Sounds interesting, right? Entanglement rituals. So you don't want to miss out on that. So please subscribe. And this is all about how short, synchronous microacts like breathing, clapping, rhythm can supercharge trust in a team and make handoffs from one person in the process to the next. The handoffs. Be faster, be smoother, be cleaner. You don't want to miss that. Can be a game changer for your teams. And it's going to bring in learnings from, wait for it, it's going to bring in learnings from quantum physics as well. So blend in leadership, quantum physics, organizations. It's going to be really interesting. So stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe, like, share. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I'm really grateful that you were here. This is my channel, Learning with Sanjeev. Till the next one, stay safe and stay blessed. Have an awesome day.